Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, maybe I am a lunk. At Planet Fitness, they talk about drinking water out of a milk jug. I mean, I guess it looks sort of caveman-like. It looks especially big from here, but I don't really see anything hugely wrong with it. I mean, it's like $1.50. You buy this, it's $1.50. You buy those fancy schmancy water bottles at a gas station, you might spend $2.89 or something like that. It's a bad deal. And no, I do not like bad deals. Hello, Chugger. Hello, Marty. Hello, User. Hello, Steph. Hello, Vendetta. Good morning, Chip. I'm almost becoming regular at this 6 o'clock hour. It's kind of a fun hour, don't you think, a little bit? Hey, what if I did this? What if I did this? Would it still be coming out of here? Yesterday, for those that were watching, we had a little crisis where my phone's hooked up to the vent in my car, and the heat was blowing on the phone for the whole show. Good morning, Michelle. The heat was blowing on my phone for the whole show, and just about an hour into it, the little sensors on the iPhone, started getting overheated. And they shut off my phone. And this was near the end of my live. All of a sudden, it went dark. I put a lot of work into my live show. I mean, I don't know if I put a lot of work into it, but I talked for an hour while drinking coffee to my phone and answered some questions. So I was a little bothered and thought maybe all that effort would go away and not be saved, and realized the issue was the heating vent, and opened the door, my car door, to the cold, and took off the case and did what I could to cool it off. And after a couple minutes, maybe not even that long, maybe a couple minutes, the phone went back on. And I opened TikTok back up, and I pushed the live button, and it said, resume the live. And I was able to resume the live. Pick up as if I hadn't barely been gone. Although it'll probably be like, for those of a certain age, and remember Richard Nixon in the Watergate hearings, there was a blank spot in the tape for an extended period. And I don't exactly remember what the deal with the tapes were, but I think it was Richard Nixon talking to one of his guys and talking about exactly what had been done in the Watergate break-in. And there was a blank spot in the tape. Rumor has it, it was the same thing that happened. Nixon went for a car ride. He went to a Dunkin' Donuts. He was drinking his coffee. He left the tape recorder on his dash, and it overheated, and it created a blank spot in his in the recording. Who knew? Who knew? Robert's 52. Hello, Susie Q. Thank you for liking the live. Hello, Marvin and Jerry and Dr. Something and Windchild and 21 chapters. Would I have another child right now? No, I don't think so. I got my hands more than filled with the 4 beautiful kids I have. So I don't plan to have any more kids. I don't plan to have any more children. And you continued the question, if you found a 25 to 30-year-old woman that wanted one, that seems too young. That seems kind of creepy young. It's weird how your idea of beauty kind of changes as you age, and it's probably good it does. I don't know. 25-year-old woman seems too young. Did I ever consider a vasectomy? I mean, What does consider really mean? Because I'll be asked all the time, have I ever thought about this? Have I ever thought about going back into real estate, or thought about becoming a stockbroker, or thought about getting a vasectomy? Well, certainly the thought has crossed my mind. But yeah, no, I don't know, the thought of that seems off-putting. Yeah. But anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Wednesday morning. It is 6:05. It is November 27th. I want to throw a shout out to my brother Steve. It would be his 60th birthday today. That's weird for a bunch of reasons for me, talking about my brother in the past tense, and honestly talking about him it would be his 60th birthday today, because 60 seems old. 60 seems old, and Steve never seemed old. He was always filled with fire and passion and drive, and yeah. Yeah. But anyway, it would be his, my brother Steve's 60th birthday today. Yeah, so happy birthday, Steve. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, well, no, wait, you don't know. Sometimes my introduction will be thrown off. And, yeah, my introduction will be thrown off, and I'll forget where I'm at. And, yeah, this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I've been doing for a long, long time, for 5.5 years. It's funny, because I remember when I first said, wow, it's been 2.5 years. That's when I kind of first started counting. Time goes quick. Now it's 5.5 years. So anyway, it's a show I've been doing for 5.5 years. Just about. It was June. It's almost 5.5 years. Yeah, it's a show about me talking. It is a show about me, hello, not original, sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs that we have in life. But for those, hello, Sunday sugar. I wonder what Sunday sugar means. Does she like her coffee on Sundays with sugar? Truly's throwing out stats to me and saying I've done this show 10% of my life. Very true. I mean, yes, very true. Within days. It's become part of who I am. Sobriety, I've been sober for 3 years, so that's about 5% of my life. Happens quick, especially the older we get, as you guys know. As you guys know, time goes quicker as we age. Yet we still find ourselves just as happy as we were when we were young, if not happier, I think. I was thinking about it. I was hearing a Rolling Stones song, and I was wondering, Mick Jagger's, whatever he is, 81. I don't think he's sitting around and preoccupied with passing away or not being here anymore. I think he's just going out and living his best life and probably more appreciative of things than he ever did. Jerry McDonald asked if I did Coffee with Ken in Yellowstone. Oh, yes, I did. Just rewind. Well, thank you. You say I have a great voice and attitude. Tanya Withrow said, good morning, the 4:30 a.m. shift. Wanted to say hello and happy Thanksgiving. Tanya, you work at Hobby Lobby, I believe. I talked about you a little bit yesterday, Tanya. I don't think you were on my show. I talked about what you messaged me about the pumpkin pie, that you wanted to fly up here and bake me a pie. I don't know. Some people were throwing around rumors. Yeah, you associate with me, you're going to have rumors thrown about you, Tanya. So be strong. Hello, Kenny. Where would you show her in Naperville first? Tanya, they got us hooked up. Where would I show her in Naperville first? I'd walk her down the Riverwalk. I'd walk her through town, Starbucks, somewhere where she could bake me a pie. We got a fancy little cooking store. What's it called? Sur la Table. Sur la Table. She could probably... Hey! Kia Soul. Sur la Table. A Sur la Table store where she could cook me a pie. I'd supply the whipped cream, Tanya. Good morning, Josh. Frenchie named Levi, thank you for joining. Anyway, for those that have been watching a while, like I said, is it the same key as all every day that you seem to wave to? No. There's more Kia Souls out there than you know, Chipbot. There's way more. What do they call it? And there was something I was in real estate and they'd train us. And it'd be one of those things you never notice a BMW on the road. You buy a BMW and suddenly every other car you see is a BMW. And now I never noticed the Kia Soul before. Yeah, I'd never noticed Kia Souls before. I really didn't even know what they looked like before I bought this one. And now whenever I see one, I get super excited and wave. Or sometimes I'll fist bump. I don't fist bump. We're driving by. I don't even think they're looking at me. I don't think they're enthused about the awesome driving experience as I do. Tanya's talking about store-bought goods. I don't remember. People are so funny. Yeah. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show. Tanya, the gossip was I said you are a very attractive woman. You were a very attractive woman who wanted to bake me pies. And I said, hell, you throw me an attractive woman carrying 2 pumpkin pies. That's appealing. That is appealing. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking or flirting with Tanya or anybody else out there. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee. And by the way, I got the app today. From Dunkin' Donuts. Tried to put money on it. The woman in the drive-thru wasn't able to figure it out, so I wasn't able to put any money on the app today. Maybe I'll do some research this morning. Maybe I will do some research this morning so I can just wave my phone and have her go like this. Give me I'm down with you. That's what the Dunkin' Donuts lady would be saying. As I opened up my app, I saw it said free Wednesday holiday donuts with purchase of a drink. And she said, oh, are you sure? I don't think it is. And I go, well, my app said it was. She goes, and I go, no big deal. And she goes, oh, just tell me what donut you want. Just go ahead. So I looked on the list. I said, pick one. I said, no, she'll probably bring me something pink. So I said, a French cruller. French crullers, for those that don't know, are these little textured donuts that are filled with air and little pockets. You know, they melt in your mouth. They melt in your mouth. But anyway, she said they weren't ready yet. So I said, give me a Long John. What kind, she asked. I go, chocolate. I was being fairly loud. If there's anybody in that restaurant, they knew my order for sure. But anyway, back to this. For those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking about donuts or my donut purchasing experience. It is a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. Hooked on Double D. Hooked on Double D. It's funny, sometimes I'll stumble over my words. And it doesn't matter on a live video. But as we know, I edit all of these videos into shorts and TikToks and Reels. And I'm about a month behind in the editing. And sometimes I'll be saying something really important or powerful or beautiful. As I said yesterday, sometimes my words are almost like poetry. And something will come out and I'll stammer. I'll go, The poetry's not quite as beautiful if you stumble over your words while giving it. Somebody asked, did my kiddos have a great time yesterday? Yes, they did. And I think I did too. For those that don't know, I have 4 beautiful children. 2 are little. I have a 2-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. And I'm a twice divorced guy, doing what he has to cover his financial responsibilities and love on his kids in the best way he can. I was fortunate and was able to pick up my kids. Usually I have them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I wait tables, and a lot of times I'll wait at night. So I came to that thought, and I don't know why it didn't come to me early. Hey, why don't I not take them Tuesday? Kia Soul, will not take them Tuesday and Thursday night, and take them in the morning instead. And it's so much less stress, and my ex-wife and I are getting along better because I think we were both stressed about it. She wants her kids seeing their dada, and their dada wants to see the kids. But I didn't feel I could take off Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday from my work schedule every week. Because we're closed on Mondays. Heck, that's 4 days a week. The restaurant I wouldn't be able to work at. And, I got a lot of financial responsibilities and doing my best to cover them. So anyway, we switched to the mornings a week or 2 ago. And that's been really nice for me. It's been really nice, and I think the kids get excited, and I think I see their little pink. Eve has a pink coat, Augie has a blue one, but Eve's usually the one that comes to the door, and I can see it's like not a stained glass, but a foggy glass where she lives with her mama, and I see her little pink door, or pink jacket bouncing up and down at the door, because she know Dad's here. It's not even like I think she's just excited to get out of the house. She's a young, adventurous, spirited girl. And didn't do anything crazy yesterday, but I picked her up, went to the gym. They have a little play area in the gym she loves, and the people that watch her are nice, and they're filled with other kids she gets to play with and all sorts of toys, and her dad checks back in on her a bunch, kind of does one eye around the door so they don't see me and think it's time to go. And if they're playing happily, I let them play for a little longer. And picked them up. We went to the mall yesterday and walked around the mall. It's tough because right now it's kind of, I don't know how to say this. So I won't say it. But I don't have a home for them to be in and to spend time in and to have toys and cribs and everything little ones need. So we tend to be on the move a lot. And it's tiring being on the move with 2 little ones. And so we're always going, looking for places where we can spend an hour and a half. And anyway, went to the mall yesterday and had them in their stroller. And once they're in their stroller, it feels safe. Because when they're not in their stroller and they're not in their car seats, it can be quite chaotic and they can go different directions. Yes. So anyway, it was nice at the mall, and we walked all around the mall. For anyone familiar with my area, there's a mall called Fox Valley that not too far from here. And it used to be this huge mall with like a Sears and it's still got a JCPenney and a Macy's and it had a bunch of big retailers. And a few of the retailers have closed since I was a kid and used to go to this mall. And they knocked down the building that was the Sears and a couple of the other buildings. It was all attached, but they were able to knock it down and maybe rebuild the wall, I guess. Because the mall's about half the size it used to be. And in that area they built a bunch of what looked to be nice-looking apartment buildings. And while I'm walking through the mall with my kids yesterday, there was like a apartment sign, and it said, hey, model homes, scan here, and it goes to the website connected to the apartments outside the mall. I'm a bit of an address snob, and I'll be honest, it is on the other side of Route 59, which is Aurora Address. And I like to think I'm in Naperville. So that might weigh on me a little bit, having an Aurora Address. Not as much as the price of them. But they looked nice, and I scanned the QR code, and I dropped my kids off, and I went to a coffee shop and did a little research. And the 2 bedrooms would be like $2,500, which is kind of what I expected. They're new. They're kind of in a fun location. I guess if the parking lot of a shopping mall is a fun location, but they look nice. They have balconies. Yeah. I can't afford $2,500 right now. I can't afford $2,500 right now. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm not you. Quality over quantity. Keep it going. Oh, I will. I love it. I'll tell you, we took them to I was going to take them to Culver's afterwards, but at the base of this mall, there's a play area in there. There's a food court. And I'll tell you what, it just feels like you're coming from a different time. And I don't know if malls are disappearing. I'm sure they probably are. Or it's just the fact that I used to hang out in malls when I was a kid. You know? I used to shop in malls and walk around malls and go to malls to look at girls and what have you. And now that I'm 56, it just feels so funny. The malls feel very empty. I feel bad for the people in the stores and malls. I can't imagine that they can survive. I just can't imagine that they can survive. Somebody said malls are transitioning. Yeah. But it was weird. Anyway, there's a food court in the basement, and this seems something out of like a John Hughes film. Like Weird Science or something. I don't even know if that was John Hughes, but same kind. And we went to the food court. I didn't let him out of the stroller. Because if you got 2 toddlers and they're strapped in a stroller, Augie escaped once. He broke out of the play area and started running through JCPenney. Thought that was pretty funny. He knows his dad is chasing him, and he just loves his freedom. He's got Down syndrome. He's 3.5. He's beautiful. And he kind of lowers his head and kind of does his little run. We saw a group of special needs adults there, and I always feel some kinship in a way I never felt before, having a little boy with Down syndrome and a little bond towards kids or adults or just special needs people. And or people with special needs, whatever you say. And pulled up, moved my stroller up there, and asked the women if it was a group of them, and they said, yeah. And I go, well, this is my little son, Augie. He's 3.5. And I think they always get a kick out of that. Good morning, Chris. Did I buy a Kia Soul? Yes, I did. Not Original said she practically lived at Woodfield Mall. Yeah, Not Original, when's the last time you've been back? You know, our main mall that I went to as a kid was Yorktown Mall. That was in Downers Grove, or right by my hometown of Downers Grove. So that's my main mall when I was a kid. We were close to Oakbrook, which is a really pretty outdoor mall, and occasionally would go to Fox Valley, but again, an Aurora Address. But it just felt different. It felt kind of weird. It felt empty. And granted, it was maybe 10:30 on a Tuesday morning. I don't know if malls were ever jumping at 10:30 on a Tuesday morning. You know, I guess realistically, kids are in school. Maybe you go on Black Friday or Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, and it might be packed still. I don't know. I do not know. Hey, Captain Kenny, thanks for hopping on today. Oh, it's not even a funny story. Sometimes I think my stories are a little more... Truly, did you ask me yesterday? I don't order my coffee dark or light roast. I just say, give me an extra large with cream and take what they give me at Dunkin' Donuts. Let's have another sip. I was saying how much I love my Kia Soul and how excited I am. And now I forget the name. And how I fist bump or wave or whatever. It turns out Kia wasn't the only one that thought this was a really cool design. Was a really cool design. And there's other car companies with a similar kind of boxy, kind of low, boxy design that's on the Kia Soul. I think the Kia Soul's the most charming. But either way, I was walking out of the gym the other day and I said, hey, Kia Soul. And it wasn't a Kia Soul. I think it was a Nissan Cube. I felt duped. They're sort of similar. But I think there's something cooler about the Kia Soul. I kid you not. I'm telling you. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Buy yourself one. It's like $21,000. I've got 894 miles on this bad boy. I mean, I guess, how many problems would you expect to have on a car with 894 miles on it? Did I just get my Kia? Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago today. It was 2 weeks ago today. Hey, she's 2 weeks old. Is it a she? It seems like a she. It's white. It's kind of cute. No hotel room. No hotel room for me. Hello, Bella. Hello, Alexandra Hope. Thank you for hopping on. You're so sweet. You are so sweet. She sent me a heart me. Should I take off my hat? Kind of get warm. Gotta make sure my phone's not getting black. You know we don't like that. You know the phone doesn't like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just do that. So it's Wednesday morning. It's weird. The last couple days, like I said, I've been picking up my babies the last 2 days at 8:30. And the 2 previous days, I worked at my restaurant and got to be in it about, 10:30 or whatever. So my mornings honestly felt a little rushed because I wanted to get here, do my show, go over and pick up the kids, although I had plenty of time. I actually, after I did my show yesterday, I ended up going to a Starbucks for an hour before I picked up my kids. But either way, I kind of felt like I was rushed or on a schedule. And this morning, I'm not picking up my babies. And it is 6:30-ish in the morning. And I don't have anything scheduled till 4:30 today. And when I say scheduled, I mean scheduled. I mean, it's scheduled. But I'm taking my 2 big girls out for dinner tonight. Fancy dinner with Dad. We're going to Olive Garden. They live with their mama. Actually, one lives in college, goes to college. She's back in town for Thanksgiving and going to take them out to the Olive Garden. My daughter's running a turkey trot, my older one tomorrow, a race here in Naperville. And I said, oh, we should go get some pasta. We used to have spaghetti dinners when I was on the cross-country team the night before a race. I don't know if pasta is still considered good for you before you run a race. But I don't know. That's where we're going tonight. I'm looking forward to the tour of Italy. I'll tell you what, it's been a while since I've been to, to Olive Garden. It's been a while. But I think I remember it kind of fondly. I love black olives, and I know they're generous with the black olives in the salad. The soup's soup or breadsticks. I don't know. Is that a choice? I don't really have much use for carbs, so breadsticks aren't going to do me a lot of good. I might steal one off my kid's plate. All I need is like one to knock around my tour of Italy to play like hockey. Italians cry every time someone goes to Olive Garden. Well, I get it. I get it. I like Italian food a heck of a lot. And I certainly would like but there's something kind of charming about it. Ooh, they do have those pepperoncinis in the salad. Yeah, they do. Those are nice. I got a Naperville truck parked in front of me. He's putting up some cones for, I don't know, maybe they're going to do some construction on the road or paint the road right in front of me. There's a little flashing light on his truck. It's kind of distracting me. Excuse me, sir. I'm conducting my hugely successful Coffee with Ken talk show. Would you mind taking you and that flashing light of yours elsewhere? I know, the city trucks do follow me. This is a different sort of city truck. This is just a white pickup. When I'm in downtown early in the morning doing my show and those large garbage trucks are clanking through and revving their engine, and when they pick up, it's kind of cool how they do it. They pick up, you guys know what I mean. They got these little arms that grab to these massive garbage trucks and dump them overhead. This is me being a garbage truck. And then the door on the garbage trucks or on the garbage can swings, go smash, 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 and then they lower it back down. Very distracting when you're trying to do a Coffee with Ken talk show. Hey, Andrea, thank you for following the live creator. I appreciate that. Bean Among Beans says, favorite Thanksgiving side dish? I mean, besides stuffing? I mean, does that even count? I would assume all of us prefer stuffing as our number one side dish. Yeah, Pizza Puff's talking about a kid when they were a kid with garbage men on the back. I remember there was kind of an overweight guy that was a garbage man when I was a kid. And I don't know, you're a kid, you probably make fun of garbage men. I mean, by the name alone, it's not glamorous. And it'd be cold. They'd be hanging on the back of the truck, going down and swinging the garbage. I'll tell you what, that must have been a heck of a workout. I think they got paid pretty well, too. I remember that was the word on the street when we were kids. Yeah, garbage men start at $45 an hour. That was the word on the street when we were kids that, hey, that guy might be slinging garbage into his truck, but he makes good money. Yeah, no, okay, I thought so. And awesome garage sales, yeah. I feel bad for the garbage men when, people throw out couches and stuff. Although the art of the garbage collection has come a long way in the last 45 years or so, they still got to do some heavy lifting from time to time. I'm not kidding, Kia Soul. They have to do some heavy lifting from time to time. Like when there's a couch out there. And Naperville's amazingly good at taking anything away. By the way, the flashing lights are gone. I wonder what he had those cones up for. He was out there for like 3 minutes. He set up cones on the right lane. Maybe there was something down the way that he had to alert drivers to, and I can't see that's behind this Dunkin' Donuts sign. But he's gone now. Oh. So yeah, it's almost a free day. It's almost a free day. And then tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I still don't know if I'm going to have a quiet Thanksgiving at home or go out to see my sisters. I was there a week or two ago. Her kids are away. My dad's there. I don't know. I might play it by ear. I wish there were good movies out. I kind of like going to see a movie on a holiday. We used to go bowling on Thanksgiving as a family, and on Christmas, I think. Maybe it was Christmas Eve, but my family used to bowl a heck of a lot. Not original. Your husband got to put the couch out on Monday and gave the guy a big tip. Well, that is nice. I never even, yeah, I'm going to get made fun of. I didn't think to tip a garbage man. Gladiator 2 is out. Yeah, Scott Maxfield, I heard the Gladiator 2 was out. And that's the one thing that even slightly drew my attention. Think about that. That movie's, the original was 24 years ago. I think it was 2000 that it came out. And the fact that Gladiator 2 is the one movie that is slightly interesting to me. Bean Among Beans said Gladiator and Wicked. Yeah, Wicked. Is it a musical? We talked about that yesterday. This intersection might prove long-term a little too high a traffic for me. Got an ambulance coming through. There's a hospital right over there. So this street, which is Washington Avenue, gets a lot of ambulance traffic. They must not be in a huge emergency because they just got their flashing lights on. And no siren. So did anyone know, is Wicked a musical? It's the disco portion of my show. It could be the disco portion. I wonder if how well, I mean, I almost think, I used to think I had to be drunk. I haven't danced since I've been sober. I mean, but I dance. I think I have more happiness in my heart and my soul now that I don't drink. And I certainly sing more than I used to. And I have more confidence than I used to. I think I used to always be hiding behind alcohol, or finding alcohol was the way to give me confidence. And it never really gave me confidence. It just gave me kind of stupidity to the point that you didn't care anymore. And I don't think that's what truly confidence is. But I used to say I had to be drunk to dance. I mean, I wouldn't want to see me dance either way. It probably wouldn't be pretty. But I wonder if I could dance in my car. I don't even have to have any music. I can feel the music. But I was editing a show. I edit these shows. I'm about a month behind. I came across a couple good nuggets. It seems the gods of TikTok enjoy when I post kind of longer videos of me telling a story about something. And I posted, I'm about a month back, I think I just did like Halloween's video yesterday. And at that time, I hadn't had my car yet. And I could see it, the stress, because I didn't have my car, and I wasn't able to see my kids because I had no way to pick them up. And I was going, I don't know what to do. I was saying it in the video. I don't know what to do because I'm staying in the extended stay. It costs $1,600 a month. I can't afford a car in the extended stay. And what do? I'm waiting tables. I'm paying child support to 2 ex-wives, and I've got a ton of financial responsibilities. And I was looking for jobs and frantically searching and feeling stressed and going, crap, I got to go see my babies. And somehow, a few days later, I said, Kia Soul. And all of a sudden, all my issues, I mean, that's not true. Not all my issues went away. I still got issues. Oh, do I have issues? I mean, but they're not nearly as grave or life. I mean, they weren't life-threatening, but they were, you know, I'm used to pulling up my sleeves and doing what I got to do. And this summer was hard because what I had to do this summer was ride my scooter to Yellowstone for 3 months or 2 months and stay in a dorm and wait tables and not see my kids to keep a roof over my head and send my ex-wife's child support. And that was hard, and I thought I'd fix it when I got back here, but still couldn't afford it. And somehow, some way, God spoke to me. Who knew God likes Korean automobiles? Was the money okay in Yellowstone? Yeah, it was great. It was great. The money was great in Yellowstone. The living conditions were a little tough, and the lifestyle was lonely for me. But the money was great. You know, what was I making? 40 hours a week. I mean, $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Yeah, $5,000 or $6,000 a month. So the money was great. Oh, Lucky Pirate Chip, thank you for saying that. Nick said, morning, buddy. Yeah. What about the living conditions? Was hard. Everything. I was living in a dorm. I mean, again, I'm telling you, I've been living in this Kia Soul for the last 2 weeks. And you've not heard me say the living conditions were hard from this Kia Soul. And I know it's not permanent, but, you know, I'm not one to bitch. I can take a good deal of pain. But what was hard for me, well, I was living in Yellowstone. It was lonely. I was working with kids that were doing seasonal work, and either at work or at my dorm, sharing a room with 2 kids from Slovakia, having different roommates, because there's a lot of people coming and going in this setting, having different roommates, no air conditioning, but I could deal with that. I think it was mostly that I was lonely and a little bored in Yellowstone. I was lonely in Yellowstone. And any chance I got, I left the park and went towards civilization. And I was fortunate because I was on the north edge of Yellowstone. Hey, thank you for the news, and thank you for the ice cream cone. But I was fortunate that I lived next to Gardner, Montana, and I rode my scooter down the mountain, which was gorgeous, any chance I could, and hung out in a coffee shop just to see normal people, because everybody in Yellowstone is a tourist or an employee. And it was just weird for me, not having stores and coffee shops and Kia Souls and a cemetery and a Dunkin' Donuts, you know? Yeah. Why not living in the extended stay anymore? Do we really want to rehash that? Maybe. Where am I from? I'm from Naperville, Illinois. Nick, those aren't my ex-wives. Those aren't my ex-wives. I'll just say that. What will the gas cost you when it's cold to keep it running? I wonder, still cheaper than extended stay. Nick, I don't keep my car running, and it has been cold. It was 25 degrees. I've got a sleeping blanket, and I don't want this show to be about car life. This show is not intended to be about car life. I know there's people that live in their cars or live in their RVs, and there's shows about car life. For anybody that's tuning in just because I happen to be in a Kia Soul, you're not going to like this show, because this won't be alone. I mean, maybe I'm enjoying it, and I am saving a heck of a lot of money. But that's not the intention of this show. Because when I'm super rich, and I don't really aspire to be super rich, I kid you not, Kia Soul, a red one. I don't aspire to be super rich, but I kind of look at it as an inevitability. I see the way this game is playing out. I see that there's 93 people watching me drink coffee in my Kia Soul on a Wednesday morning. I didn't wake up and just say, hey, I'm good at talking endlessly while drinking coffee. Or I say funny things or interesting things or inspirational things. I started doing it and posted it once, and people started watching. I don't know why. So anyway, it continues to grow, and my revenue on all my social media platforms grows a little bit more every month. And I made $400 last month on social media. And I'm going, wow, this doesn't cost me anything. All I'm doing is drinking some coffee and talking. What the hell else I got to do at 6 in the morning? And so it keeps growing. So my point is, it's going to keep growing, and it's going to explode, and I'm going to have billions of dollars. And I don't want you to not love me when I'm rich and famous. I don't want you to love me only for my being broke right now and for my Kia Soul. I want you to love me for me. Because I'm worried when I'm rich and famous, you guys won't care about me anymore. You'll think he's changed. Maybe I will. I'll still live in the Kia Soul. I'll heat the Kia Soul by burning dollars. Hundreds, not hundreds of dollars. C notes. Oh, back to the heating. No, I don't leave the gas running. Although I'll tell you what, you can leave the gas running for an amazing amount of time on your car. And if it's just idling, it doesn't go through much gas at all. But that's not what I do. I have a heating blanket and a little one of these in a sleeping bag. And I'll tell you what, it's wonderful. However, I want another one of these because this is a has like 286 watt hour capacity, and my heating blanket goes through like 40 watts an hour. So that's only works for about 7 hours. And I want it to work all night. So my thought is I'm going to buy another one of these. This is $159 at Best Buy. It's solar power, but I've not figured out how to do it. I mean, I think you need to hook up a solar panel. It's called a Jackery. It might be a 290 watt one, if anyone was curious. And I think they're probably a good idea. Wait, why is that my car's not parked? Or not my car. My car should be plugged into my car battery. Charging it up. It's going to be cold later. But anyway, I think it'd probably be a good idea for anybody to have in case of emergency. And if you're living in your car, you probably should have two because they don't take up a ton of space. Hey, Diego, thank you so much for following the creator. Rock and Robin said, check out Harbor Freight before I buy another one. Rock and Robin, I did check out Harbor Freight, and I'm going to tell you about it. Beautiful, thank you so much for sending me the roses and the lightning bolts. Beautiful's a very generous person. She wanted to contribute to this, and I don't even really want contributions. If I won the lottery, I think I might be bummed. I really do. I want to win. And by the way, I know money doesn't buy happiness. But I still want to win. And have a big pile of money to sit on just because kind of like Monopoly to say, hey, I won. Got the biggest pile of money. And it's not to buy things. It's just because I kind of look at it as a game. And if I won the lottery, I'd go, shoot. It's not fair. I wanted to do it on the strength of coffee with Ken and my charm and my personality. Lucky Pirate Ship is having ice cream for breakfast. That's interesting, Lucky Pirate Ship. Where do I shower? I'll tell you what. I shower. What was the model power level? Oh, wait. See, I got so many questions. I shower at a gym. I joined a gym. No, not a Planet Fitness. You guys know I had a falling out with Planet Fitness. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to get in amazing shape because I like to shower every day, obviously. And if you're going to be at the gym showering, you might as well do some pull-ups first or get a workout in or something. Stretch at least. Yeah, Rockin' Robin, I did. Okay, Rockin' Robin said check out Harbor Freight. I did. And they had one for $199. It was a Predator model. And this might bore those that are... I'd never been in a Harbor Freight. And I went to one and I looked at it. And it was $199. And I'd purchased one at Best Buy, a different model than this, for $199. And the one at Harbor Freight, it would have been a very lateral move. And again, this was a lateral move, but this was $159. And I like the handle on it. And I like the fact that I can pick it up. It's like 7-8 pounds. But they didn't have a big enough one that would have been worth me changing. Brands, if you will. So I went with this one. It's somewhat perplexing, and I'm addicted to power station shopping. It is somewhat perplexing because I want a bigger one for more capacity, but I don't want a bigger one. I want it to be more powerful, but without being larger. And to get one that's twice as powerful, I'd have to have it be this big box. I like this because it's easy to move around and charge and take into wherever I'm going in to charge it. And if I bought a big one that was 22 pounds, I'd be carrying in this huge thing. And I don't want to do that. So I think 2 small ones is my solution. Somebody's saying they're glad I didn't join Planet Fitness. I did join Planet Fitness. I was actually a pretty happy member there for not 3 years, a year and change. Because it's clean and it's cheap as heck. For anybody out there, and I hate to give Planet Fitness a plug because I sent an email to them. They have some weird things, and they have a lunk alarm, and if you make noise while you're lifting weights, they talk to you about it. And I get it, they don't want people screaming in agony, but I mean, I was straining and made a little noise, and somebody talked to me. So I felt uncomfortable, but I canceled my membership. It was hard for me because I missed it because it was a good place to shower, and it was a good place to work out, and it was only $15 a month. But, yeah. Good idea. Can plug in at a public restroom at parks, etc. Somebody says I sound identical to Jerry Seinfeld. I've heard that before. Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely weighed my options. Big Al said, how long do I plan to live in the Kia Soul? I've got 2 thoughts. Okay, again. Some people don't like that I have big dreams and big optimism. But tough. I'm not out to please some people. I have big dreams and big optimism. And I have huge thoughts on my own financial potential. I do. I think it's inevitable. And part of me wanted, about a week ago, I was thinking, hey, I'm going to live in this Kia Soul till I can buy my home in cash in Naperville. And okay, the home I want in Naperville costs about $550,000. It's nothing super fancy. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, split-level home on a yard in a nice-ish neighborhood. Certainly nothing super fancy, but would be perfect for me and my kids. But then I go, okay. As big of a dreamer as you are, and as optimistic as you are, I mean, I probably, realistically, might not have $550,000 saved in the next few months. But I might. So that's still in the back of my mind. My other thought was until I pay the Kia Soul off in cash, pay for it, have it paid off. And I honestly think I could do that in maybe, okay, this still might be delusionally optimistic. It still might be delusionally optimistic. But if I'm not paying $2,000 a month in rent of a 1-bedroom apartment that I barely need, and get my income enough where I could afford the car and the rent, I could put that rent money towards the car and have it paid off in about 6 months. Maybe 8. That would have me in the car throughout the winter, and wouldn't have me having a place for the kids to be. But right now, I find this so easy and kind of almost fun. It's like an adventure. And so ridiculously cost savings. I get it. If you had all the money in the world and you have kids, you want a house. I get it. I mean, I'd probably want a house too. I'd like to sleep on a bed. That would be nice. Maybe watch some cable. But if you're struggling a little bit and financially under pressure at all, I tell you what, it hasn't been too hard. How am I earning money, Galaxy says? Well, I wait tables. My restaurant slowed. When I first got the job in August, it was busy, kind of end of summer, and I was scheduled 5 or 6 nights a week and making pretty good money and able to cover my financial responsibilities and keep a roof over my head, but not have a car, to be honest with you. And the restaurant slowed, and I think restaurants are probably generally slow between Halloween and Thanksgiving. And our shifts got cut back, and you know, I was working 5 or 6 shifts a week, and there was usually a shift or two I could pick up during the week. But they cut back on us all, and now nobody's giving up their shifts, and we're only scheduled, you know, I'm 3 nights a week, and that didn't leave me enough money. And I was going, what am I going to do? And if, again, I'm editing these live videos, and I'm a month behind, and 1 month behind, I was going, what am I going to do? And I was looking for jobs, and I was going, I don't even want this job. It's base salary plus commission, but the base they pay won't be enough to keep a roof over my head and cover my financial responsibilities. So that's not a great solution. So 2 months ago, or 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks and a day, no, 2 weeks to the day ago, God spoke to me and said, Kia Soul. And I Googled Kia Soul, and I looked it up, and I go, hey, that kind of looks like an RV, one of those RVs I was jonesing for while I lived in Yellowstone. And me willing to play the game just as I want to play them, said, I bet I could sleep in that. And here I am 2 weeks later. And I'll tell you what, you know, I haven't saved $800 in the bank, but I haven't spent $800 in living in an extended stay in the last 2 weeks. And I've been able to buy a car and able to see my kids. And I'd rather sleep in an extended stay and be able to see my kids 3 days a week. Sleep in a Kia Soul and be able to see my kids a few days a week than not. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of an adventure. How long do I plan to? I don't know. But I like the idea of having my car paid off in 6 months. Sunday Sugar, yeah. Says God always provides. I tell you what, I can't believe they let me buy a car. Well, the strangest thing, after I bought the car, my credit score went up by 75 points. But again, I can't believe they let me buy the car. I wait tables. I have inconsistent income. I had certainly large spots on my credit report. And I just rode my scooter there and said, what the heck? I told the story before, so I won't go into the long version again. The car salesman walked up to me on the lot and said, "Hey, you're Coffee with Ken." I think that might have helped. Oh, wow, I've talked for about an hour already today. If anybody is new to my page, I'm not joking. You guys probably think I'm making it up. Look, blue Kia Soul. Do you see it? Do you see it? I mean, I've seen like 20 of them since I've been sitting here an hour. Everybody's doing it. They're only 21 grand. I tell you, I've had expensive cars before. I've had fancy cars. I've had a Mercedes, a Porsche, 2 Audis. My very first car I bought out of college was in 1990. It was a Nissan 240 SX. And it cost $18,300. The sticker on it was. It might have been $17,300. Might have been $17,300. The 300 was definite. It was either 17 or 18. Cut me some slack. It was 35 years ago. And I bought that. And that's just 35 years later. I didn't think that you could still buy a car for roughly the same price I paid for that one in 1990. And yes, that Nissan was probably a fancier car than this car. But this isn't bad. Brand new, tech warranted. I did a video about it the other day. And I think brand new's... look, I bought a few used cars. I understand they depreciate when you drive them off the lot. But the last thing somebody needs when they're struggling financially is unexpected maintenance bills or car issues. And I've had cars that have gotten a little long in the tooth, and every 3 months something happened and it needed a new this or that or this. And you'd owe the car place $1,000 or $1,500. And that kind of stuff can crush you when you're making it, when you're doing what you got to do. So I was able to buy this car brand new for less than $21,000. Yeah. Okay, tech warranted, saying 2 or 3 years old, shouldn't have had problems and still under warranty. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. The Audi I bought was used, and it was roughly half price. It had 36,000 miles on it, or my second Audi. I bought it. The sticker on it was $65, but I paid $35 because it was 3 years old and had $36,000 and still had most of its usable life ahead of you. So I understand the math. But I'll tell you what, when you have questionable income and spotty credit, you know, and they said they'd sell me a car. I said, okay. Secondly, the car's only $21,000. So when you're talking depreciation on this car, you know, in 5 years, it's still going to be worth $13,000 or something like that. And, you know, that's just not a lot of depreciation over time. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Believe me, I'm frugal. I put the thought into it. But I think this was the best deal for me. Hello, I, Ellie. Thank you for joining. Thank you. But I don't know how much I need to talk today. I go live every morning. I don't know what I talk about. We just have a little conversation. We drink some coffee. I have a lot of fun doing my show. I post a lot of videos. I post these lives on YouTube every day for anyone that doesn't see it live. I don't know why. People watch it and find it relaxing. I don't know why. But I'm glad they do. And as long as people want it, I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to watch this grow. I got 92 people watching right now. And Addie's Beauty and Bubbles just followed the live creator. Thank you so much for following the live creator. All of my social media audiences are growing pretty quickly, and it's a lot of fun. And Lucky Pirate Ship. No. No. I'm paying what I need to pay. Sandra Lynn said, good morning, Sandra Lynn. You're late today. Do I ever get recognized out in public? I do. It's kind of embarrassing. Like I said, I kid you not. I bet you most people don't believe it. I went on the key a lot. I had an older gentleman coming up, and he had a sales manager vibe. But then I had a young, fresh-faced guy come up, and he goes, wait a minute. You're Coffee with Ken. And his name's Connor. And I don't know, it had to help me buy the show that he thought I was famous and worth something. I was going, look, man, I'll be lucky if you can buy me this show, or if I can buy this car. Because whether you know me or not, and you think I'm a local celebrity or not, let me tell you. Yeah. But here I am. Here I am. Well, Sandra Lynn, good for you for sleeping in. You should give out coffee in downtown on live. I don't think that's a horrid idea. I don't think that's a horrid idea. However, I would need one of those big coffee things. And I'm in my Kia Soul. I guess I could open up the back. Kind of have a little mini tailgate downtown. Maybe buy one of these like portable Dunkin' Donuts things. But then I'm spending money. And I don't know if we've talked about this. I know they say you got to spend money to make money, but I'm not totally sure you do. And also, I used to think word of mouth and local audience was what's important. And I used to buy mugs and give them out to people that watched me locally. Coffee with Ken mugs, and they're cool. But the real potential of social media, hello, Sherry, isn't here in Naperville. It's that Sherry from Florida is watching me. Okay, I like Tech Warranted because they are throwing out some interesting things. Not to get local, to make good viewing online. Yeah. But that's kind of a gimmick, Tech Warranted, don't you think? You apparently find this good viewing online because it's just me talking. Hello, Kathleen from Texas. I'm not that broke. I could buy a box of coffee. Wait, where were we? The gimmick. Because I get told a lot of times, or people saying that you should do a podcast or something. But that would involve things that I don't know if I want to get involved with. And I've got viewers that will watch me for years, just sitting here drinking coffee. And I know I can commit to that. And if you can't do something over time, it doesn't really impact in any way. And I believe slow and steady wins the race. And I'll tell you what, I think I'm winning the race. Aaron Kelly, I've thought about everything. Have I thought about having somebody else? I don't really want to interview anybody. Yeah. Well, Captain Kenny, next time you drive from New Jersey to Naperville, I'd love to buy you a cup of coffee if you head this way. Why am I not in real estate anymore? I posted a lot of videos about that. I tried being a radio talk show host. It's funny because I posted a video yesterday, and gives me a subject worth talking about how I think I'm going to make 500 grand a year doing this show. Yes, I said that, 500 grand a year doing this show. And I think I'm going to make 50 grand, but I don't think I'm going to stop there. I think once I hit 50 grand and once I get to certain critical mass, I think this is going to explode. And I'm going to be making $500,000 a year or something doing this show. And I had a guy named Spencer comment on that video how that's dreamland, not realistic, because he was a radio personality. He did it for 30 years and he was lucky to make 50 grand. My answer to him would be, so? Because it didn't work for you and you were a radio host doesn't mean it won't work for me doing Coffee with Ken on social media. Because I'm looking at the growth of this platform and I'm looking at the revenue grow, and I don't see it stopping where it's at. It's not going to stop. I didn't peak last month at $400 in earnings. Promise you that. I get more subscribers and more followers every day. And it's actually accelerating. And again, it's not about the money. But for me, a little bit, it is about winning the game and just sitting on a big pile of it. So no, I don't want to be a radio host. I'm doing that right now. I've got 103 people watching me. I have my own talk show. I have my own talk show. And I like it. I get to drink coffee, and I get to go live every morning and, I don't know, share some stories or some thoughts or what have you. Yay for me, Sherry! Thank you for watching, Sherry. Sherry has actually met me. Does each video on TikTok make me money? No. On TikTok, you have to have qualified views, and a qualified view is more than 1,000 viewers, 1,000 views, and it has to be longer than a minute, and it has to have a certain ratio of likes and comments to not likes and no comments. So it has to have a certain level of popularity. Would I do more lives throughout the day? Star, that's a great question. I think a lot of people out there believe the rabbit wins the race. And when you ask me, should I do more lives throughout the day? That'd be almost like asking me if I should go to the gym 3 times a day. Well, yes, if you went to the gym 3 times a day, you'd probably get stronger really quickly if you could keep it up. And yes, if I could do 3 lives a day, I'd get more viewers and social media would grow quickly. But let me tell you, I've gone live for about an hour and a half this morning. And I think that's about the right mix. I think that's about the right mix. That's about the right amount. Because it keeps me feeling fresh. I think it keeps my content worthwhile. It kind of goes with the theme. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. With the theme of drinking coffee and coffee with a friend. So if I started doing an afternoon and an evening show, A, I'd get tired, B, I'd be bored, C, I think I'd run out of things to say, and I'd never be able to edit all those videos. So that's my thought about that. I think, like I said, the tortoise wins the race, and consistency is more important than some ultimate effort that you won't be able to keep up with. Because, yeah, I'm going to dinner with my girls tonight, so I can't go live tonight. But I can go live every morning at about 6 o'clock and talk for about an hour, whether I got to work that or get to work that morning, or I get to pick up my kids, or I get to go to watch my daughter run a race. Because I can commit-ish the 6 to 7 o'clock time frame, roughly, while I'm drinking my coffee and starting my day. And any extra would be like going to the gym multiple times a day. Yeah, you'd get stronger, but you wouldn't be able to keep it up. And if you can't keep it up, it almost doesn't do any good doing. Yeah. You know, getting on the ground and doing 25 push-ups, if you're never going to do another push-up's not going to do anything for you. But doing 10 today and 10 tomorrow and 10 next week and 10 next month and keeping that up over time, you're going to get stronger and you're going to be in good shape. Tech Warranted says, and I appreciate you, Tech Warranted, but if I want to make $500,000, you may need to get creative, like I said, and give out coffee. I don't agree, Tech Warranted. Well, I mean, you said I may need to, so you're right. I may need to, but I don't think so. I think consistency over time is more important than doing gimmicks and me giving out coffee in downtown Naperville once. None of you, I have 118 people watching right now, and none of you have ever watched me because I give out coffee in downtown Naperville. Tech Warranted is saying, come up with new ideas. Tech Warranted, I'm going to warn you. New's not always better, and different's not always better. Change isn't good just for the sake of change. When you got something working and you're growing, changing doesn't make sense. Yeah. Well, you've been watching for a while. Hello. Hey, somebody sent me a rose. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. What's your keys to Coffee with Ken? I don't know. A desire to do it. A desire to do it. A want to do it. If I didn't like doing it, I wouldn't do it. I didn't set out to be a content creator. I had something I needed to say. Hello, Amy. I had something I needed to say, something I needed to get off my chest, and I said it. And I go, hey, that felt pretty good. Maybe I'll say it again next Saturday. And I did. And people started watching. And I don't know why they watched. Whether they found it inspirational or funny or motivational or hated me or whatever. My audience started growing. I go, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm sitting here drinking coffee and talking. And people watch. So let's keep doing it. And here I am. And I got serious about it just about 3 years ago when I discovered TikTok. And I played with the formula a little bit. I've tweaked it. But I think this is the formula that makes most sense. Makes most sense. Tech Warranted is telling somebody who Scott Huber is. Scott Huber is lives in an encampment in Naperville on the corner of two very busy roads. And he's got a bunch of tents set up. And it was extremely cold one day. And I was looking for content. And I said, I wonder what Scott Huber's up to. And I went, and he didn't even open up his tent because he didn't want to let the cold air in. And I talked to him through the tent about 2 or 3 years ago. And he's an interesting guy. He's a really intelligent guy. And he used to be in computers in some capacity. I forget what it was somehow. And Tech Warranted called him homeless. And somebody asked me about being homeless. I find the word homeless so derogatory. I do. Because I don't feel homeless. This is my home. for right now till I decide it won't be. And to me, homeless, yeah, again, has negative connotations. For me, I think this was an intelligent financial decision. Made sense, gave me opportunities. Heck, if I was a single guy, and that's why I did this video, if you're a single guy, you save $2,000 a month. You get a nice car. You could travel the country. You could wait tables anywhere. You could do whatever you want. You could chase your dreams. You could live an adventurous life. Yeah. I considered being an Uber driver. I only laugh because every show I do, I have people ask me, have I thought of Uber driver? I only laugh because every show I do, I have people ask me, have I thought of... Hello? I did it again? I did it again? I knew it was a risk. I knew it was a risk. Again, I did this yesterday, and I got to fix that, or I got to cut my show a little shorter. I got the heat on the floor only pizza puff. I do. I got the heat on the floor. I know I was frozen. What happened is my phone is on the heating vent, and I got the heating going to the floor. I don't know what happened. Doesn't apparently only go to the floor. But it happened 2 days. The temp's down. It was getting cold. I understand. I've got a lot of good brainstorm ideas too. That was what I was laughing about a minute ago. Somebody asked me if I'd ever considered being an Uber driver. You guys, I'm an active thinker. I think about all sorts of things. Is my phone also plugged in? No. I mean, it is, but it's hooked to a magnet. Maybe. But either way, we'll figure it out. I'm not going anywhere. I've talked for almost too long already, but it's been a wonderful conversation. It has been a wonderful conversation. You mean this hat? I think I had it on some during the night. Yeah, that's cool, Amy. But anyway, I so appreciate you guys for joining today. And I really do. And I go live. Anybody new here, please follow my page, because I have a lot of fun and it's growing every day. And I'm looking forward to my day, whatever it holds. I've got a free day until 4:30 tonight when I pick up my older daughters and we go out to dinner. And again, I appreciate you guys so much for hopping on today and following along in my story and liking my videos and watching my videos and subscribing to my page and following me on other social media platforms. Thank you, Susie Q. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you have a great, great Wednesday, that you are feeling good, and that you're loving yourself, that you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.